This is how I found out through Ancestry at 28 years old that the man who raised me is not my biological father, and that my mother bullied everybody into keeping it quiet for 28 years. Let's get into it. All right, so let's start from the beginning. So about right before COVID, maybe right at the beginning of COVID, I was nosy. I went downstairs in the basement. I found these pictures, and the pictures was from like my first birthday party. I've never seen these pictures, didn't know they existed because there are no pictures of me as a kid in the house. Only pictures that exist are like my newborn pictures that you take in the hospital, and then it skips to like 3. So I never had any pictures of me as like a young kid. So I didn't know what these pictures were. I went upstairs, I asked my mother. My mother was like, oh my God, I don't know where these pictures came from. Where did you find this? So I sent it to my sister, who's 12 years older, who has a different father, but she's my mother's other daughter. So I sent it to her and I asked her, and she was like, we could talk about this when you no longer live in your mother's house. And I'm like, what does that even mean? So long story short, I ended up blowing up. Nobody told me the truth. No one said anything. So around like 2020, 2021 is when I found that out. And the pictures are just this man standing over me at my first birthday party. He's looking down on me very lovingly. I'm like, okay, maybe, because my parents technically weren't married until 1999. I was born in 96. So I always thought my parents just maybe weren't together. Maybe they broke up, you know. My mother was seeing somebody else. It was the 90s. Who knows? Okay. So I was like, who is this man? My mother was like, oh, it was some coworker, blah, 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 whatever. Cool. No one said anything else. I ended up moving to Dallas in like 2022. Lived there for like 2 years. It came up again because I still had this weird feeling about this man. I was like, who is this man? I was like, are you my dad? I asked my parents. I was like, is he my dad? I need to know, because I heard about Kerry Washington's book and how she found out that her dad wasn't her biological father because they ended up using a sperm donor. She didn't find out until she started doing the Ancestry, and that's how her parents told her. So I was like, I need to know just in case, like, because my dad was having surgeries, and I was like, I need to know in case, like, I'm trying to give him blood, or God forbid, like, a kidney or something. And they were like, you can't give him that. You're not related to him. And I'm like, what? Because that's weird. I would like to know. So my parents were like, no, he's your father. He's not your father. I mean, he is your father. You know, the man that raised me, he is your father. He's your father. He's your father. My father blew up on me one time because I kept asking, and he got frustrated. And he was like, I'm not your father. Now, for those who don't know, my father lies for fun. My father lies to lie. He just likes to play games. He's a very big joker, kind of childish, but he plays a lot. So I didn't take it as serious because, again, he only said it out of frustration of me asking a bunch of times. And then I asked my mother because I found out my birth certificate said it was issued 8 years after I was born. So I was like, that's weird. Like, why? I've never seen that before because I never noticed it. But I looked at it and I was like, that's weird. I asked my mother. She said, that's still my father. She said, like, that's your father. That's your father. That's your father. That's your father. So I moved back from Dallas this year. I'm 28 years old. My brother's like, let's do Ancestry. This was like October. I'm like, cool, I'll do Ancestry with you. Just thinking we would find out more about our mother's side of the family because my father's side had already done Ancestry and we knew what their genetics was. I'm thinking it would be like a cute little way to find out genetics. Everybody knew I was doing this. Nobody stopped me. No one had a conversation. No one said anything. I do the Ancestry. My brother does his first. I had mine. I accidentally left mine in my mother's car. My mother was supposed to ship it out for me because it was already done. I accidentally left it in her car. I said, can you just put it in the mailbox? 2 weeks later, I find it in the back of her car after she claimed she mailed it. She's like, I don't know what I mailed. Red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 was when I mailed it. Again, no one said anything. Everybody left it alone. My brother gets his results back. He connects with my dad's side of the family. Cool, fine, no problem. I get my results back late because, again, we had to send it late because she hid my test, basically. I get my results back, and my brother is showing up as my half-brother or my nephew. And I'm like, that's so weird. So I keep refreshing it for like 4 days. I'm like, that's not happening. That's not possible. My brother's not my half-brother. That's not possible. I'm like, maybe I did the test wrong. So I'm looking it up. The results are saying they're 99% effective and right. So you're seeing what you're seeing. I told my brother was like, yeah, it's probably it just needs a little bit more time. I'm like, yeah, it probably just needs more time. Delusional. Both of us, just delusional. So then we go to, I finally see the results. I see it. I tell my mother. I was like, yeah, my results say my brother's my half-brother. She goes off on my brother, telling him how he should have never brought this up, blah, 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 blah. Blames him, basically. Then I go to my sister. And I'm like, hey, I found the results. And the results said DJ, my younger brother, is my half-brother. And she's like, how does that make you feel? And I was like, you're playing with me, right? Because this is terrible. I've been asking y'all for the past 4 years. if he was my father ever since I found that photo, and y'all have been acting weird. Well, come to find out, that man is not my father. And I have a whole different father. I have siblings that exist in the same area. Mind you, I live in DC. The DMV is not that small. I mean, it's not that big. It's actually pretty small. So you're telling me for 28 years, I've lived within 30, 40 minutes of my entire family that I didn't know existed. I have another grandmother. I have aunts and uncles. I have cousins. I have siblings with children. I was like, you didn't say a word? And I was dating in the DMV before I moved to Dallas. So I could have been dating my cousin. Like, that blew me. So then I go to my mother and I'm like, okay, well, I found the results. I sent her the results. I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Because now we have the truth. This woman tells me that my father is my father. The man who raised me is my father. She stands 10 toes down on that. And on top of that, she tells me I'm adopted. She tells me I'm adopted and it was a closed adoption. I look just like this lady. Now, mind you, I found out I look just like my biological father, but I look just like my mother. Everyone, my entire life has always told me I look just like my mother because I didn't know what my biological father looked like. But I look like this woman. And my test did not say that my brother was not my brother. They just said he was my half brother, and I only connected with the people that he connected with on our maternal side. So this woman refuses to tell me the truth. The whole family is upset with me because I have brought this up. I am pissed. I am mad. I'm angry, and I have every right to be. This has set me back like 5 years in therapy. I am also on antidepressants, and I'm trying not to crash out. So that is how I spent the very last part of my 2024. And I also have proof, and I will be sharing that as well. Stay tuned.
Hey cousins, welcome back to my channel. Make sure you like and comment. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Make sure your notification bell is on so you're notified every single time I post. Cousins, it's been a few days. I am feeling a little better. My voice is back, and it's time to get back into it. Now, I saw this story on TikTok, and I really hope they don't take TikTok away because what are we going to do without it? But anyway, this is why I say all the time DNA should be mandatory at birth because children deserve to know who they come from, and the parents of these children deserve to know as well. This story is literally insane. The fact that the mom is making the child feel like she's wrong to want to know where she comes from is sick. And the gaslighting must stop. Like, at this point, mom probably has some deep, dark secrets that she does not want to come out. It could be something with her husband that might shake up their marriage. It could be something with the child. But at this point, for her daughter's mental health, as a parent, you have to do what's right for your child, not what's right for you. And then, if she didn't want this to come out, why, when the daughter told her she was doing Ancestry DNA, why didn't she say anything? That was the perfect time. Actually, she should have told her a long time ago, but that would have been the perfect time for her to sit down and let her daughter know, like, hey, daughter, I have something to tell you. Like, I don't understand. All these years, I could not imagine thinking that one man is my dad and then finding out that he's not even my dad at all. It's so important to know where you come from, who you come from, your family. She could have been dating her brother, her cousins, and have no idea. Like, the mom is dead wrong. Dead wrong. And the fact that she's the only child that's not for the husband, something is up with that. I want to know if she's the youngest or the oldest. I'm really, this is sick. Unpack your thoughts in the comments. How do you feel about the situation? Do you think it's the child's fault for wanting to know where she comes from? Do you think the mom should have told her a long time ago? How do you feel about this? Make sure you unpack your thoughts in the comments, like, and subscribe if you haven't done so already.
So part 2. I know y'all sitting here thinking, oh, your mother, she probably meant well. No, she did not. And I will tell you, relax. You're going to figure it out real soon. But my mother is not who y'all think she is. She's not a saint, okay? She's not nice, not good, not a good woman at all. But my father, I expected better. My father was my favorite person in the whole world. I was a diehard daddy's girl. I trusted him with my life. I would have died for that man. For him to not have spoke up and told me the truth, honestly told me the truth without making it seem like some type of lie he didn't figure it out again because he frustrated or he mad at. He never sat down and had that conversation with me. That was hurtful. That was painful. I've also heard that, he felt like nurture over nature, which again, I never said he wasn't my father. He raised me. Okay? He is I am who I am because of that man. Yes. But that does not diminish the fact that this was very painful. This was very hurtful. And I don't know how to continue a relationship the way I did with my father because of this. Because now I know. So anyway, I'm going to show y'all the photo of my biological dad standing behind me at my birthday party. I'm also going to clip the video of my mother talking to me. Now, before I post that, I want y'all to understand, I am a child of trauma. My mother is expected to have done something like this. She's not a good person. She's always done something mean and evil to me. I can go down a laundry list of things, but I will tell you this. Cheyenne, me, is on antidepressants. I have anxiety and depression. I have PTSD because of this woman alone. I have been trying for years, my entire life, to start and continue a relationship that's cordial with this woman. She does have past trauma, but I do not excuse it, okay? I'm going to post the video, and you tell me how you feel. This is the photo I found in the basement. This is my biological father, and that is me. I had never seen this picture before. It was brand new to me. I knew that was me. I know what I look like. But I did not know what this man looked like. And it threw me through a loop. So I asked everybody, and they didn't tell me. Next is a video with my mama. Trigger warning. It is gaslighting. So be prepared.
Cousins, unpack your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the mom meant well? I do not feel like she did. I feel like she did it for a selfish reason because what other reason is there? Like, why would you not want to tell your child who their father is? And then when your child confronts you about it, you act clueless, like you don't know what's going on. And then you say that she's adopted? Girl, cousins, let's say she never found that picture of her and her father in the basement. When would they have told her? Or maybe she would have never known. That is even sadder to even think about. And to the father that raised her, just because you're not her blood and she wants to know who her blood is, it doesn't take away from all of the work and everything that you've done for her whole life. You're still her father. You raised her. But the fact that you're not even trying to give her closure, that says even more about you as a man or lack thereof. And to the mom, disgusting. Unpack your thoughts in the comments. How do you guys feel about this?
Because he said, if I'm not mistaken, when I talked to him about this, he just said, well, 5 years from now, it's going to change. The numbers are going to change.
5 years from now, the numbers are going to change, yes.
Why?
Because they're adding in new data. But it does not change when it comes to close connections.
No. Now you want to mix apples and oranges.
I'm not mixing apples and oranges. I'm telling you what happens. The percentages can change because more people are using Ancestry. So would you guys like to take an Ancestry test? So if I ask Dad to take one, is it going to match his? Is what I'm asking.
Why are you asking me?
Because you birthed me.
And you're talking to me like I'm your friend.
Me, we're not friends. We are not friends.
And that's why you're not going to talk to me like that.
We are not friends, Mom. I have never spoken to you in a friendly way. I'm speaking to you as my mother.
No, you're not. You're talking to me
and
like
I asked you a question. I said, I have a question I would like to ask.
And I listened.
And I said,
asked the question. I gave an answer. You didn't like that answer. I can't help you.
Because it doesn't seem like the right answer.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. You was adopted. I don't know. By me. So you didn't do an ancestry test by me.
So if I do an ancestry test with Dad and it comes back that he's not my biological father, then what? Then what's the answer?
Then do one on me. Then you're going to see I'm not your biological mother either.
So who is? Can you tell me who that is?
I wouldn't know.
Why? Why wouldn't you know?
Because when they have closed adoptions.
They had a closed adoption. And I look like you. And your side of the family.
And who does Robert look like?
He's not a part of the family.
Robert is not part of my family?
Isn't he the one that was adopted in, or was it Randy?
Neither one. Robert's mother was Aunt Marie.
And who does he look like? His father?
He looks like Keith, and he looks like Uncle.
Who is Keith? Keith is our cousin?
Yeah.
He looks like the male versions on your side.
Because he is.
I look like the female versions on your side. But the test is saying half brother or nephew. It said 89% chance half brother or uncle or grandfather. I sent you the results. You can look at it. You can look up Ancestry to go through all the results and see how you feel about what Ancestry's rates of being correct are, that's fine. But I'm telling you what the results say. Okay. And I'm asking you again the last time.
And I want you to remember the answer I gave you because I don't have to keep answering it.
So you're saying my dad is dad?
Your dad is Donald William Younger. Well, it's senior now, but...
Senior. That's my biological father?
Yes.
100%.
So 4 times you're going to ask me the same question. And you think you're going to get a different
Because
answer.
how do you keep saying yes, but the results say no?
Because you're mixing science with... You're mixing reality with bullshit. And I even told DJ, I said they could take your... What is it y'all did? You didn't do blood. You did spit them. So your saliva, do whatever the hell they want with it and gives you whatever results they want with it. So...
But I would still match with Uncle Michael and Brittany.
You wouldn't match 100% with
It wouldn't. It doesn't mean. It would mean there would be some type of percentage at all.
But again,
there's no percentage at all.
If today it's 20%, and 5 years from now it'll be 40%.
That's not what he means when it changes. He says that when it changes, it means that you could be 28% Guyanan, and then next week be 14% Guyanan, and then technically you're 14% Tobago and whatever.
Well, how does that change if it's...
Because more people are taking the test.
Right. You would think it would get stronger if more people are taking the test.
Well, then they also realize that the DNA strands are a little bit different. Again, the paternity doesn't change. The ratio of how many, origins you come from might change. Both my maternal and paternal side says South Carolina. But my brother is my only close match, and it says half brother and nephew.
I'm gonna have to research that. Isn't that thing like 23andMe?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And if I did that as well, and DJ did that as well, it would say half
And
brother.
you'd be in a lawsuit with them too.
I would be suing them because they lied.
They didn't lie.
Because their answers are wrong.
Why their answers wrong?
Because why am I suing them?
Oh, because they're in trouble for lying to people.
Okay, well, I didn't do it 23andMe. I did Ancestry.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, it's 2 different companies.
But they're doing the same thing.
2 different ways. They're not in a lawsuit because they're not lying to people.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for your answers.
Anybody that still thinks this mom is a good person, you need to be studied, because there's no way this mom is a good person. Look at how you talk to your child when she's just trying to figure out who she comes from, when she realizes that the man that she's thought was her father her whole entire life is not even her dad. And then to say that she's adopted, and she's just so no emotion, no nothing, making it seem like the daughter's doing something wrong because she wants to know, or making it seem like she doesn't even have no idea how the daughter can find out. This mom is sick. And I'm telling you, cousins, unpack your thoughts. This mom is hiding something, because what in the world is going on here? There's just no way that she is this rude when the child's just trying to act. She's not a child, but her child is just trying to find out who she is. What is wrong with finding out who you are? I am grateful for the parents that I have and that raised me, because, Lord, I do not know how I will be able to do it if this ever happened to me. And I can only imagine how Cheyenne feels about this whole entire thing. This is a lot of mental stress. Unpack your thoughts in the comments, please. I want to hear from you guys. Who is right and who is wrong in this situation? Should Cheyenne stop trying to find her family? Should she not involve her parents that raised her? Quote unquote adoptive parents? The gaslighting here is serious. The mom is not a good person at all. If you can talk to your child like this, you're not a good person. I don't care what you say. I don't care. Unpack your thoughts in the comments. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Bye.
Let's clear some things up. 1, my sister is not my mother. My sister is my sister. My brother is my brother. Our mother that you heard in that video is our biological mother. So sad to say, I'm so sorry. I know y'all wish better for me, but that is my truth. Two, sadly after that video, I did end up asking her again because I'm still in disbelief. I still can't believe she's gaslighting me. I did end up asking her. She literally got up from the bed because I asked her while she was in bed. She got up from the bed, called my father over. He came over to the house because he's at my grandmother's. He came over to the house and we got into an arguing session because he told me that I didn't have a right to ask any more questions to her. That is her past. And that's it. He told me to go find out the truth outside of the house because they didn't want to talk about it. I didn't have a right to know. That is also another reason why I don't know how to have a relationship with my father, because that was very painful. Trying to tell me that I'm, her past and I don't have a right to know about basically me. Now, on top of that, because you just witnessed her gaslighting, my mother is also a liar. People honestly sometimes believe her. After a while, they don't, but for the most part, they do. What I believe, because again, I had to find out that stuff by myself. What I believe is that my mother lied to my father that raised me and told him this big elaborate story because she did not want to be with my biological father anymore because they broke up and she didn't like him anymore. And so my father who raised me believed it. And that's why he took me in and changed my name and all that fun stuff. That's probably also the story that he believes now. I do believe that he thinks that if he finds out the truth, it might change his relationship with his wife. Unfortunately, I don't care because that is my truth. It is very, very painful to have to keep trying to build a relationship with these people, and all they're doing is traumatizing me. If anyone knows a way for me to sue them for my therapy compensation, please let me know. Because at this point, I'm in weekly sessions and up my antidepressants just so that I don't crash out. Because this is a lot. Mind you, I also had to go through this through Thanksgiving. I had to sit with the entire family and not say a word. And then Christmas, I spent it by myself because I did not want to spend it with anybody else. By then, everybody knew that I knew. We all had the sessions of arguments that we've had. We've had the gaslighting sessions. I didn't want to do it anymore. I didn't want to fake the funk. I was tired. I still am tired. I did find my biological father. He is a great guy. He's very nice. I do look just like him. I love him. He's very nice. We are building a relationship, so don't worry about that part. I found my father that day that she acted like that. And then right after, when I had that arguing session with my father, I drove to my sister's house in Fairfax. And I found my father immediately. I was not playing. I do not play. I get down. I found him immediately. And then I called him and he knew who I was immediately. He said he's been looking for me my entire life. So I did finally reconnect with him. We are rebuilding our relationship because he knew me first. So that's the good part about that. Now, on top of that, while this whole thing has been happening, I had been planning my father's surprise 65th birthday party. I had to sit through the entire planning phase and then sit through, well, not the entire, I planned halfway through, I found out, but I had to sit through his entire birthday party and not say a word. I had to fake the funk in front of all his friends, all his family, blah, 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 blah. Everybody at that party had no clue that I knew and that I hated pretty much everybody. So, again, very painful because I literally was throwing a party for this man. That's how much I loved my dad. So to go through this and to experience all this and for him to not have my back and to tell me that he was protecting his peace, your peace cost me everything for me. Like,
Cousins, I know I said bye, but these parents are selfish. Like, is no way around it. There is no way you can have peace when you know your child is not at peace. Like, are you serious right now? You're doing it for your peace? So that means you're doing it to save your marriage. It's something that your wife did before you guys got married, while you guys were married, and you guys are trying to cover it up. But why would you not want to make sure your daughter knows who she comes from? Make it make sense for me. Somebody, please.
Like I'm stuck. My whole world is shattered just so you can be peaceful. That's crazy to me. But yeah.